everybody. My name is Jessie Martins, and today I'm doing a podcast about friendship for my services action. And afterwards, I'm going to publish it on my mom's podcast called The Force of Flow. Today, I have my lovely co-host slash mom here with me. Say hello to everybody.
Hey everybody, it's really good to be here, and I'm excited to talk to Jessie about friendship. I think nowadays it's so hard to make connections with people due to various reasons. For one, I think social media. I think number two, the stress and school environment, and perhaps number three, just the fear of judgment and comparison alone. So I think these are topics that affect not only kids but adults alike. I'm really glad to be here and to be able to ask Jessie questions about this. So Jessie, let's dive right in.
All right.
So what does friendship mean to you?
So to me, friendship means having someone you can truly be yourself around without pretending. It's about trust, support, and knowing that someone cares about you even on your worst days. A real friend listens, respects you, and stands by you. Friendship isn't about having fun or always having fun, but feeling safe, valued, and understood. Friends also are always there for you, and they'll always be there through all your difficult times.
I can hear that you are really passionate about this topic, and you mentioned the things that make a good friend. Can you also explain to me what kind of behaviors can damage a friendship?
So, for me, what can damage or what behavior can damage a friendship is the person is toxic to you, they talk bad about you, gossip, they ignore you, or they're just really mean to you and they don't care about you and about your feelings, or yeah.
So, how do you know when you can truly trust someone?
So for me, I think I can truly trust someone if they can keep my secrets, or if they defend me or stand up for me during conflict. And also, some friends might share very personal things about themselves that they usually wouldn't tell anybody because they also trust me not to tell anyone. And that is, you support each other and are usually always there, and you don't betray each other.
Wow, that's resonating with a lot of youngsters out there. And I think the fact that you could put it in those words is really powerful. So, if you were to encounter one of your friends going through a really difficult time, how would you support this friend during that time?
So, for me, it also depends on the situation, because if they might need space to figure out their problem by themselves, and they just might need time to process it themselves. But if they would need me, I would definitely be there for them, and I would just listen to them no matter how long it would take. I would kind of be there for them, to kind of a shoulder to cry on, and I would just also ask them is there anything I can do? How can I support you? And yeah.
So, during this time, if the friend also doesn't want to open up and kind of shuts down and just wants to be left alone, I can imagine that is really difficult on the one hand because you just want to be there and you want to help. But on the other hand, you experience them maybe putting up a wall or walking away. I mean, this is in a way an argument that you're having with your friend. How do you resolve an argument like that? What do you say or do?
So first of all, I would listen to what they would have to say so that I also understand their point of view. But sometimes the conversation or the argument might not always work out the way you would want it. So you might need to find a compromise. So agree to disagree.
Nice. So when you have a friend, and the way that you would actually know that it's a really good friend is the fact that you guys can share the differences in opinion
Yeah.
and still respect one another for that. Nice.
Mhm.
So, one of the aspects I wanted to come back to you with is the fact that you have a very different outlook on how you make a friend. And something that I've noticed is you have single friends here and there,
Yeah.
but you don't move in circles of friends. So you don't have groups of friends. Can you tell me why that is?
Well, I don't really like to be around in a big group of people because for me, I think then also they're just gonna do things that they really want to do, and then kind of like the majority of the people will want to do something, and like I won't want to do that. And I don't really like to go out that much also because of people, which I'm not good at really socializing, or like I just don't like going out that much because it bothers me. And groups of friends, just everybody wants to go one place and then I don't, and then it's not fun for me, and I also don't like that.
So, have you ever come across the notion or the instance where you felt left out of a group and it's just easier not to have to deal with that? And so you've kind of put up a wall and told yourself it's easier just to have these single friends?
Well, I think I have been in a group before once, where I lived in Germany, and it wasn't that bad of a group, but I just like singular friends because then you and that friend can just do things together and not always like go somewhere with another whole group of people, because then you just have to go with them the whole time. And for me, I like singular friends better because I kind of also want to hold on to them, and I like some friends because then I have them to kind of hold on to, and not like I don't have to share a thing with a group or something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so they kind of become an anchor for you.
Yeah.
You have people that you know and trust, as you have just explained, and these become people you can rely on.
Yeah.
And therefore, I say anchor because you can come back to them whenever you need to.
Exactly.
And I assume that the opposite is true too, that they can then do the same with you.
Yeah, I hope so, at least.
What kind of advice would you give to kids that are experiencing FOMO? And I'll explain that. That is the fear of missing out. And what I mean by that is if they feel left out of a group or a friendship, what kind of tip could you give to them?
I wouldn't try to be bothered by that or like be stuck on that the whole time. You should then, if you would then have other friends, just try to hang out with them. You shouldn't just let that like bother you the whole day or make your day bad or worse because they hung out with you. It might be them or it also might be you, but you also don't have to change. If they don't accept you for who you are, then you also shouldn't really be friends with them, because you should be friends with people that accept you for who you are, and like that you're different also, or yourself.
I like what you just said, and those are very nice words to go by. Being accepted for who you are. And as I mentioned before, this isn't just something that kids are experiencing, but adults alike.
Yeah.
And we struggle with that, being accepted, being wanted, being seen. Let me ask you one of the questions. Why do you think some friendships last longer than others?
So it depends. Some friend, because sometimes like you make friends and then you move away, and you might just not have contact with them anymore, or you just forget about them because you're so busy with your new life. But for a healthy relation, or like friendship, I would say you communicate with each other. You also talk about, if you're ever like fighting, to just talk about it and not just stay mad at each other and not talk about what is like bothering you guys.
So you mean like to reach out
Yeah.
and make sure you don't just sit on it.
Yeah, and to maybe just hang out once or twice a week, or just to catch up every once in a while. But also just hanging out or just talking is also healthy because you kind of catch up or you just with each other. That's
So it sounds like everybody in the relationship needs to make an effort.
yes.
You know, that reminds me of a friendship that I have, one of my longest friendships with a woman in Munich. I've known her, Katarina, for over 10 years. And I think for friendship definitions, she is my best friend. And just like you said, I met her in Germany, and then we moved to the States, and now we're in the Netherlands, and the friendship has lasted.
Like, how did you do that, kind of? Could you maybe give some tips from your experience?
One of the things is constant communication. I think making an effort to call each other regularly, to check on each other and ask how the other is doing, to make them know or let them know that you're still thinking about them, that has been huge. I also think we've been able to visit one another off and on, but it was important enough for us to make time for one another.
Interesting.
Yes, and if there are big events in their life, to be part of that. And the same is true on my side. And of course, it helped because the kids, my kids, you and Yona, were friends with their kids. And so there was always a little bit of a connection, which didn't hurt at all. But I think all in all, if I had to give some tips, nowadays it's so easy through social media to keep in touch. Make sure that both sides are putting in the effort, because in the end, it's worth it. And I like what you said, listening to one another and to be there for one another.
That's some very good advice. Thank you. I think hopefully that helps also some people if they were wondering how to like keep their friendship healthy.
And that brings me to another aspect. If I may ask you, mental health is such a big topic.
Yes.
Why are healthy friendships important for our mental health?
Well, I've also read, I think on a website once, that friendships can also help with stress, because friendships also make you happy because you hang out with people, you can laugh together. And studies have also shown that when you have a friendship or anything, you also do like better in school or like at work.
You probably thrive in lots of aspects in life.
Yeah.
That way. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool, I think also.
And I believe that nowadays for us all, you want to surround yourself with people who lift you up and support you. And staying away from people who just drag you down and are very toxic, you shouldn't spend time.
No. You shouldn't be friends with them, because even if you still want to like really be friends with them, you shouldn't, because if you keep having that, you're also just going to feel worse and just not have a healthy relationship or healthy or happy life.
So when is it okay then to walk away from a friendship?
When it becomes too toxic, or when only one person makes the effort, so I was guessing you, or they don't care about you. They don't want to put any effort into your friendship.
To conclude our podcast today, if anybody out there is in a new environment, in a new place, and they were looking to make a friend, what would you tell them they should do next?
I would tell them to step out of their comfort zone and to just introduce yourself to other people. I know it might be scary for some people, but once you make a friend or a few friends, it'll be totally worth it.
Jessie, thank you so much. This was an incredible experience. Really excited to share this with everybody. And thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for also interviewing me and also sharing your own experience. I think that also helps other people that are struggling with these problems. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hope you have a good day, and until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.